Hi, everybody. It's Susie McMahon with Luxurious Journeys and Luxlow Country Travel. Welcome back to Wind Down Wednesday. Here we are in January of 2022, and I have my ice water. You're bubbly, I'm sure. I wanted to welcome back my very popular guest, Angela Hughes. She's the luxury travel entrepreneur, and we are going to talk about what is hot in travel in the United States. But Angela, do a quick introduction to the audience of what you do and what you're all first, and then we'll get talking. Welcome.
Yeah, thanks. I'm always happy to be on your show. You're running quite a successful story over there. So I'm Angela Hughes. I call myself the luxury travel entrepreneur. I've been in business over 35 years, and we specialize in premium and luxury travel, all of the products, all the brands, all of the hot destinations. And I run the wildly popular Luxury Travel University as well that educates people in the industry to sell more luxury travel.
Yes. And she is very, very good at it. And I'm so excited to talk about what is hot in the United States. So many of us are hesitant right now with our new variant friend, but we have you covered, you guys. You can still travel luxuriously, see some places in the United States that you may never have thought you wanted to visit before, but there are so many wonderful locales. And I'm just going to turn it over to Angela to talk about her thoughts of what are the most hot destinations. I think she has a document to share with us. Go ahead, Angela.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and just share that real quick. And because I'm blind, I'm going to go straight to the glasses here. This is always nerve-wracking when you have to share your screen because
it is. I know.
Let me go to the window. Okay.
Well, you got it?
Yeah. So let me add it to the, you might have to add it for us.
Okay.
No? Yeah.
Add to stream. There you go.
Okay. So I'm going to I'm going to go full screen here. So I'm not going to be able to see myself. So I'm not going to be able to see any social cues from you. So just let me know. Yeah, I think what's hot, number one, is Puerto Rico. And I say that because no testing going in or out, because it's considered a domestic location in the United States, of course. And so people are flocking there because you still get that Caribbean feel, and you get the beaches and you get the sunshine. You don't get the COVID nightmare to go along with it. Have you been sending any people there? Yeah.
I haven't yet, but I do have a lot of friends that have actually been researching real estate there, and I just would love to go there myself. I mean, with the tropical feel to it and with the ease of entry, because like what you said, it would be a fantastic destination this year, I think.
Yeah, it's a dynamite place to go. I just had people at the St. Regis who just raved about it, and they had actually changed their trip from LeBlanc in Cancun, from the Ritz-Carlton in Aruba, because their daughter did test positive right before Christmas and then became COVID clean, so to speak, and then ended up going to the St. Regis, and they actually said it was one of the best trips of their life right here in Puerto Rico. So destination number 2, Laguna Niguel, California. It's one of my favorite locations. Ritz-Carlton right here on the Southern California coast, I think is a must-do for everybody. And I grew up in the West, and so I don't usually think of like California as like a destination that I want to, California is where I went every single summer, so I don't really consider it like I'm traveling somewhere, California's California. Right. It's like how we feel in Florida, like going to Miami is not really a destination, but it is for so many people. I feel like the Ritz-Carlton, so much vibe there. You've got roasted marshmallows going on at night around fire pits. You're hanging over these cliffs. It's just a really hot spot to be. Okay.
Wonderful. I love the trees and the cliffs. And then the next place is your home state. And
yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah. And I'm always like, and this is exactly what I always say, why would I go to California when I could stay on the best beaches in the United States? And that's right here in Florida. Now, I know some of you people, and I got this last time I talked about this just yesterday on another feed, but people are now screaming at me going, what about Hawaii? And the bottom line is, yes, Hawaii deserves a segment all to itself. So it's not included in the list, but we're talking domestic in Puerto Rico right now. And so I'm including Florida beaches here. I actually think Florida has some of the most beautiful beaches in the country. Sarasota, I love the white sand beaches down there. St. Pete Beach, Marco Island is one of my favorite stretches. I love to kayak in the Lido Keys out on the ocean. I just spent Christmas Eve on Hollywood Beach, which is one of my family's favorites because they have a great big boardwalk that you can bike and exercise on. And we go to Hollywood Beach all the time. And then of course, popular South Beach. I mean, the beaches just go on and on in Florida. They're so beautiful.
They are so beautiful. And one thing I just wanted to bring in, when you're ready to do a segment on Hawaii, let's do it. But didn't Hawaii just come out saying you have to have the booster to travel there? Is that correct?
Hawaii's been tricky, and that's why I didn't really include it, because these are places tonight that we're discussing that really are user-friendly. Hawaii has not been user-friendly at all during COVID. And we have people declined going to COVID because you still need testing and all those different things. So if you're going to go to all that work, you could go somewhere really fun outside of the United States. The destinations we're talking tonight are easy. You can go to, you can get to, and it's not difficult.
So that's awesome. What do you have next?
Okay, next on the list,
Key West.
Key West. I'm sticking to the local favorites. Key West, I feel like we've had more requests for Key West this year than I probably had in all my career, and that's coming from our agency. So my guys that work for me, they're all saying people want Key West. We've got one bungalow down there that does all inclusive, and so people who are looking for honeymoons and they don't want to go to Mexico or they don't want to go to the Caribbean, Key West is a perfect little getaway, and it's popular. One thing that's going to happen here is you're not going to see cruises probably returning to Key West. They're kind of saying that could be a permanent closure. And so it's going to be land only if you want to hit Key West. And so that's really what I've got in the pipelines. And then we go to the national parks as number 5. Everything's popular in the national parks. And this was not a COVID discovery. This was a pre-COVID, just hot emerging destination. Not even emerging. It's just been so popular to go out and just tour as many national parks as you can fit onto an itinerary. And I grew up in Utah, so Zion's, the Narrows, Bryce Canyon, Moab, all the popular ones with me, Jackson Hole. These are all ones I hung out as a kid. And of course, we got all the parks in Arizona, Grand Canyon, Sedona. We've got parks in California. I love the parks of Bar Harbor, Maine, another great spot. So those are my 5 top hits tonight. Let's talk about it a little more. You'll have to probably get me back on the screen. Okay.
Is that you there? I've got you.
Yeah.
I've got you. Thank you so much for that overview. I agree with the national parks. And one of the things that I like to do as a concierge or a travel planner is to create an entire experience for people going there.
Right.
A lot of times people think, oh, all I need to do is get my accommodations. Well, no, I mean, you can add on snowmobile trips if you're going up near Yellowstone. And as well, the other fun, exciting one we haven't even talked about recently, Angela, is the new Rocky Mountaineer trip where you can go from Denver to Moab. And that adds a flair of luxury to it as well. So
yeah, so many people like those train trips now. I think train travel's returning. Also, pop over the border to Canada. Those 7-day and 10-day experiences from Banff to Vancouver, definitely something people should put on the books. Yeah. Canada, again, I wouldn't say is the easiest country to go to right now, but think fall. People fall for the Canadian Rel up there. I think is fantastic. So many destinations. Another one that I think is so popular this year is just your stomping ground, South Carolina. I feel like people want to get to South Carolina. What's not so popular? And we didn't even talking about what's not popular. Should I just give you a few notes?
Sure. I go ahead because sometimes you need to burst the bubble out there.
Yeah. New York City, not popular right now. I'm headed there Tuesday or Wednesday. To connect, and I'm going in a couple days early to catch some Broadway shows. And for instance, you couldn't get a Music Man ticket in December for any time because so many people were pushing like their Broadway tickets over because they had just reopened. I went on last night and I was like, whoa, there's lots of Broadway tickets out there. Broadway had a brief shutdown again a couple of weeks ago, and people are just staying so far away from New York City that I feel like it's going to take some time to build up. I mean, it's hot. That's a COVID hotspot right now. They want to be outside. You know, where are prices high? I think some of the Florida beaches are high priced. Hawaii's extremely expensive right now.
Mhm.
And I just booked a couple tonight who were booked to come to Florida, and they said, "Gosh, if we're going to pay that much, we might as well go to Mexico. We've already had COVID a couple weeks ago, and they're on their way to Mexico." So it's price sensitive depending on where you are in the United States.
Exactly, exactly. And I think that I'm so glad you came on tonight. I know we were going to just do a real quick video and talk about what is hot, and there's so much to talk about. But I think what I want to encourage everyone is, you know, feel free to do a last minute trip. Last minute trips might
Yeah.
be the way of our future, don't you think?
Oh, absolutely. I feel like we're doing more last minute bookings. And literally, I have people calling me going, "Can I go March 1st?" And I can show you that was a text I received about 20 minutes ago to Zanzibar, Africa. Sure,
Wow.
we can do that. And it's crazy. Like, you would not, in years past, like even to come to Florida, it'd be hard to get a hotel. And Florida still is hard to get a hotel. Lots of people are flocking down here, and we're getting into spring break and people want to be down here. But you know, these weekend trips, if you feel like you just need to get away for 4 or 5 days, it's winter, it's freezing. I'm in a sweater in Florida today because it's actually
I
so chilly
know.
here.
I know.
We
Well,
might be 61.
I was gonna say the same thing regarding the hotels in Florida. I mean, I was searching because I might be going on a cruise in March, and I was searching around to visit some family. You're not kidding. I mean, the Captiva area and Fort Myers and that area, the prices were astronomical. So that's the law of supply and demand, right?
Yeah, they're definitely capitalizing on everybody
Mhm.
wanting to stay in the States. And that's why I put Puerto Rico as like my number one destination right now, because you can get out, but you're still in. And we've got lots of properties there. Where I feel like the Florida coast, I've seen prices over $1,000 for properties. And they're high during spring break and those time periods anyway, when the New Yorkers and the Northeasterners are coming down here. But I feel like they're unusually high right now.
Yeah, yeah.
And the crowds at Disney are not subsiding either. We're busy in the theme park world. So I think
Exactly.
people are looking for it. One thing that we've had a lot of requests on is just the Sedona, the Scottsdale area of Arizona. I feel like that could be something that really takes off this year.
Yeah, I
Um,
sent some clients to the Tucson area, to the Dove Valley Mountain. It's a Marriott, and they had a fantastic time. One of the coolest excursions I found out about was there is a stargazing expert that will come do a private viewing for
oh,
you and your
awesome.
family, and you can sit there and then he'll do the telescope. It's the biggest telescope that you can actually move around, and you can have an incredible experience like that. Sedona is very popular with people in the Colorado area going down there as well.
Yeah,
So
my kids have actually done that telescope experience down there, and it's just amazing. It turns everybody into a rookie. You know,
I'll become an expert.
okay,
Well,
here's
Angela, will you join me maybe not next week, but a couple weeks from now, and let's talk about what you still see as hot in
oh,
travel?
sure. I want
And
to turn the
let's
tables on you though, and I want to find out what's your hot point. Like, what's your destination for US travelers?
Of course, it's South Carolina. I'm always going to be first to try to encourage people to travel to the lovely Low Country. And a lot of people say, what is the Low Country? Well, that's the area from a little bit of North Carolina, but primarily South Carolina, Georgia, and a little bit of Florida. And it's called the Low Country. It's becoming a cultural term that brings along the beautiful beaches that are there, the marshlands that are there, and they're not swamps. There's a difference between marsh and swamp, and a lot of people don't know that. Marshes are absolutely beautiful. Just think of the piece of land that you have the land, you have the marsh, and then you have the sea. So you get these long, beautiful views. Charleston has been exploding. For some people, it's a little too crowded. So I recommend people coming over to Beaufort, South Carolina, visiting Fripp Island, South Carolina, and maybe really immersing yourself in the culture there. A lot of people love hearing about the formerly enslaved culture, the community called the Gullah. There's a lot of good cooking and a lot of history and a lot of art with those communities. And South Carolina has been booming. It's slowed down a little bit right now, but gosh, I was there in December and it was 65 degrees walking on the beach. So if anybody wants to know more about that area, I'm your girl.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much for joining me tonight, Angela. And if any of these places sparked an interest, please give me a call. It's 303-810-6351, or feel free to message me and we'll get your next luxurious journey planned and booked. Thanks so much, everybody. Thanks, Angela.
Thank you.